All right, we should be live again. Second time in one day, so it's getting up there on the record. Welcome everybody. We are here to discuss the launch of Citizens House and walk through a little bit on the process of what's happening with Citizens House, as well as how you can create your near verified account. And joining us today, we have Klaus, the CEO of Hack Humanity, who has put together a little bit of a presentation just to walk through and make sure everyone's aware of what's happening, the timelines, and the process of what's going on. So, Klaus, thanks for joining, and I'm really happy to have you on stream.
Yeah, thank you. Happy to be here. So, yeah, thanks for everyone tuning in. So, yeah, my name is Klaus. I run Hack Humanity. Been working deeply with Near Foundation, House of Stake, right in the mix this last 8 months. And the last 2 months, we've been building this software Citizens House. And this is necessary to conduct a one person, one vote. And yeah, we needed this governance system in addition to House of Stake, specifically to facilitate the Near Community Trust proposal to transfer funds out of that trust across into House of Stake and to dissolve the trust. So going back about 2 years ago, there was, or even two and a half years ago, there was the NDC initiative, and then that was shut down. When it was shut down, there was 3.3 million near still left in its treasury, and that's been sat there dormant. So this, the trust instrument stipulates that there must be a one person, one vote system. And so that's why we built this, to have a vote to transfer those funds across to House of Stake. So what we're doing today is we're announcing right now the launch. You can actually go right now to citizenshouse.org and create your near verified account. You connect your wallet, and yeah, you connect your wallet first, you sign a message, and then you verify your identity. And so, yeah, it's pretty straightforward. You click through the prompts, you'll be asked to, add different types of ID, passport, driver's license ID from all different countries in the world. There's a liveness check that you're a human and not a bot. And then, yeah, later stage, we will have proposals that you vote on. But to start with, there's a 2-week launch verification window, which starts today. So that runs up to Feb 16, then it closes. Then there'll be the proposal for this community trust transfer vote, which will happen on, or the announcement will happen on Feb 16. Francesca, who's the current enforcer of that trust, will be posting it to Near Governance Forum. And then that will sit there for 7 days to circulate for everybody to read and become aware of. And then on Feb 23, the vote will start and run for 14 days. Yeah. So it's a process.
Awesome. Yeah, I mean, the goal of this stream is really just to make sure that everything concerning this process is as transparent as possible. All questions have been answered, that there's zero ambiguity in what kind of the procedures are and the parameters of what's happening. So if you don't mind, Klaus, I'll just go back through and confirm kind of one by one what you just summarized so we can break it down and there's zero ambiguity about what's going on. So if I heard you, what's happening is essentially we're in the registration period for the next steps on determining the transfer of funds from the Near Community Trust. Is that correct?
That's correct, yeah. So we just started that verification period, which will run for 2 weeks. At the close of that 2 weeks, we draw a line in the sand, and that's what's considered, the total for the near verified accounts. Maybe we get 1,000 people do this process, right? And then when we move to the voting period, those are the 1,000 people that will vote. If you miss that window, then yeah, you're not eligible to participate in the vote. Yeah.
Gotcha. And just to clarify, when the vote starts, what will voting yes mean and what will voting no mean in the context of the vote?
Yeah, for this specific vote, yes will be voting that you agree to transfer the 3.3 million near, which is currently in the community trust, to House of Stake's treasury, and dissolving the trust at the same time. And a no vote will be no, you don't agree, and not to dissolve the trust. Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay. And this question has come up before, but and you did hit on it, but I think it'd be helpful just for anyone who's wondering, why is this a one person, one vote structure as opposed to token weighted voting as in the House of Stake?
Yeah, good question. Because it's the short answer is because it's legally required. This is actually terminology clauses that are stipulated in the Near Community Trust instrument. It's a Guernsey-based trust, and it has specific procedure that must be followed in order to achieve what's called near consent. These are specific terminology. So members of Near Community who have near verified accounts are the only people that can vote on this decision. And so we needed to build this governance mechanism to match the legal stipulations. So, yeah.
Cool. And I think you've been pretty clear about the timeline for the vote, but I'll just restate it. Effective tonight until, is it 23:59 UTC time on February 16th? Is that right?
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Gotcha. So on February 16th, right before the midnight of February 17th, this registration period closes, and only the accounts that are verified in this period will be eligible to vote a week later in the 2-week voting period.
That's right.
All right, and that's all on screen. Cool. I know that you've done some lots of testing and also demos before on how specifically to register. I don't know if maybe you want to just share screen and walk through each step one by one, so people are clear on what to expect in the registration process.
Yeah, I won't do a live demo because I've already used up my account with my own personal New Zealand passport. So, however, on the homepage, you'll see this section, Connect Wallet. So you click that, and we've got all the standard, wallet providers are there. And so you connect your wallet, and then you sign a message, and that verifies that you own that wallet. So we keep a record of that on chain. So that's the first step, and then the second step is to verify your identity. So then there's the second step walkthrough will prompt you to follow these steps you see on screen, and then to add your passport, driver's license, or other ID types. So different countries have different IDs. A lot of people in the community don't have a passport, so you can still use a driver's license or other ID type. Now you can either do this all completely on your phone, or you can do it from a laptop or a desktop. Or a bit of both, actually. So you can start on the laptop, and at the moment it asks you to give your ID, you can click continue on the phone, and then you take your phone and you can take a photo live of any of your documents, and then they get submitted, checked, and we check for duplicates. The system that we're using, SumSub, detects are they legitimate ID types, so they're not kind of fake things and all of that. So. Then there's a liveness. Yeah, in the last part, there's a liveness check that you're a real human and not a bot. And so, the camera pops up, either the webcam on your laptop or desktop or from your phone. And then you rotate your head around, just checks that you're alive. And then when that passes, then you'll get these, green ticks that you've both verified your wallet ownership and that you're a real human and that you own this identity. And then you've created what's called the near verified account. Sometimes, if there's additional checks, this can take a little bit longer, but generally the whole thing is done in about 5 to 7 minutes. If it does take a little bit longer, don't worry. There is our team on the back end who are checking these, and there's also a support channel and support Telegram group you find in the footer of the website. You can jump across there and ask your questions and get personal help if it's needed, if there's any issues.
Yep, and just for reference, that support group, I believe, is at Near Citizens House on Telegram. So we'll make sure that that's linked, as Klaus said. Everyone should be able to find that. If you run into issues, please reach out to us. The Hack Humanity team is on hand and very helpful in troubleshooting the problems you might have. All right, so maybe I guess moving into the vote period, what does a valid vote entail, and how much is needed from the registered accounts to confirm an outcome that is, clear and legally determining?
Yeah. So what is required? So let's play it through with some fictional numbers. Imagine 1,000 people create their near verified account in the first phase, right? And so by the time that we open up the vote on February 23, those 1,000 people have the right to participate in this vote. To be considered a valid and legitimate vote, at least 7%, which is called quorum, must participate in that vote. So at least 70 people from that 1,000 who had registered vote. Then it would be considered meeting quorum and it's valid. If only 50 people show up at that point, and I highly doubt this is the case. If 1,000 people are going to go to the effort, to create their verified accounts, I would imagine, people are actually going to participate in the vote. So they have to pass quorum, at least 70 people participate in the vote. And then of that people, at least 50% need to vote in favor for this to be considered a valid vote. So 35 or more in that scenario I've described, if 70 did participate, would make it a valid vote. Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, I think that's pretty clear. And maybe just for those people wondering on safeguards and parameters, what steps are being taken to ensure that the vote is fair and accessible to everyone, or as accessible as possible, obviously within the domains of the law?
Yes, good question. So the trust actually has that stipulation in forethought. It has a specific clause that it's saying at least 10% of near community should be made aware that this verification and voting periods in effect. And that's why we're doing this live stream. I was also on the Eco Collab call end of last week, and I'll be on the town hall again this week. We're putting it out on the main near protocol, which I think has got the X account's got 1.8 million followers or something. So we're putting it out everywhere. We're putting it on the forum. To definitely cover our bases, that people are aware that this is in flight, that this is happening. And we'll have multiple reminders across that 2-week period, and towards the end, reminding people to not miss out. And so those are the main things in terms of accessibility, fairness. From myself as Klaus and Hack Humanity and our team, we will not be encouraging either way, yes or no. We'll be acting as a neutral party to facilitate the process and to provide the software platform. That's how we will conduct things.
Yeah, very clear. Well, cool. I mean, we're at almost 15 minutes. I think we've covered the ins and outs of what everyone can expect. If there's any questions, feel free to ask right now, and we'll put it on screen and can address directly. But otherwise, I would say this is a pretty comprehensive overview of what we can expect, and it should be an exciting month, where I think as it lines up with NearCon, the voting window will actually open on the last day of NearCon, but at that point, you would have to have been registered already to participate in the vote. So there will be some overlap, and it should be an exciting time to just see how the vote goes for the community and the ecosystem, and what waits on the other side of it. So doesn't seem like there's too much Q&A right now, but as you said, if you have further questions, I would highly recommend you tune into the town hall, ask Klaus the questions on the town hall. This has also been cross-posted on the Near forum, so feel free to check that out. It's called Citizens Houses Live, and you can also discuss this in the House of Stake chat or any other major chat in the Near ecosystem. So thanks, everybody, for tuning in for this quick stream. We look forward to you verifying and participating in this vote, and we'll check in probably at the end of it to just see how it all went. So thanks, everyone, and have a good one.
Thanks all.